back with Detective D. It's the Silk Road Murders. Let's see what we can find. The boat we just traveled within, that's a deer. Okay. Drum. Our drum, it resembles the toy pellet drum I cherished as a boy. Okay, another drum. Oh. Is the yin yang symbol. There are bogus symbols. Okay. Check out this deer. Deer is blocking the passage to the tower. What a magnificent animal. If it let me pass. I'll talk to it. The song. What the fuck? Exactly what I'm thinking. You speak? Follows deduction. Detective. You tell me why am I here? The song. You must play the song. You understand? What song? Your song. Drumstick. Let's pick it up. Cool. Alright. Got a drumstick now. I should examine this drum first. Okay, fine. From here. Oh, strange markings along a shaft. I see. 1, 2, 3. Then this one here once. These are here twice. Once, okay. Interesting. 1, 2, 3. 1. Oh. Where's this one? Those are the one. What's the last one look like? Try this again. 1, 2. Play the song with my people. Talk to me. With a fine tune you play, Divenji. You know me? It is you that the drum calls. Your song breaks the silence. Who are you? In this place, names are unimportant except your own. What am I doing here? You are needed. The moment has come for you to show your true self. The time is fading. The wolf is on the move. Calamity is upon the flower and the flesh. Who's in danger? What can I do? Cross the threshold and protect the lost one. Break the wolf's spell and save the remaining roses. Now go. Speak no more. Go, before it's too late. Climb the tower and save her. Save who? Oh, you just disappeared. Okay. Tower entrance. I have a bad feeling about this. I do too. Oh. Ooh, snap. Same dream again. No matter how many times I run up that tower, bloodshed is all that ever comes from it. And what of the talking deer who seems to speak in riddles? I must not dwell on that now. A new assignment awaits. Alright. Before I go, I should add an entry to my journal about the dream. It's my journal. I should add an entry about last night's dream. Okay, late spring 689, I solved the first major case in Bangai. At first confounded, I needed to peel away the onion's many layers to find at its center a simple story. A prideful man murdered by a stone lover. And again, I'm reminded of the tranquility of the human heart. But it seems that the minister took notice of my work. He spoke of how I would gain favor with the emperor. Malglad resurrected the border treaty. He even spoke of greatness in me. A silly notion. I thought I had only done my job, and perhaps, had I done it better, Sun Yu would still be alive. She remains in my thoughts, ever mysterious. Midsummer. The emperor is dead. What? It is the saddest of days. News from the capital arrived this morning. A mysterious illness said to have to be the cause. While lingering health issues took hold and never let go. Now with the outcome of the Korean treaty on hold, his legacy will surely suffer. Generations in my family have served the emperor and his forebears. His royal mandate woven into my own sense of purpose. It is a time of deep reflection, time of mourning, like summer. I've begun having a very peculiar and recurring dream. In it, I find myself on a small boat gliding across the water as if pulled by invisible force. It eventually brings me to a tiny island populated only by a strange talking deer and a shadowy figure standing atop of a great temple. But just as I imagined, to convince the creature to allow me passage up the tower, I sense a grave danger looming over me. What happens next is unclear, but one thing is certain: no matter how hard I try, I failed to overcome the sinister threat. Late winter, 690. The Emperor still grieving wife, Constant Wu, had now broken with tradition and proclaimed herself the Empress and nightfall ruler of China. There are rumors of her brutal tactics, never berating across the imperial echo chambers. Stories of ruthless reprisals and a secret police force used to silence her oppositions. But what am I to believe? Was her rise to power legitimate? Or are these aspersions nothing more than exaggerated hearsay spread by various detractions? No doubt a woman reigning over the empire for the first time will vex the establishment, but the imperial count must survive this turmoil. We must come together for the good of the realm. Early spring. 10 months have passed since the Korean ambassador's murder. 8 have gone by since the death of Emperor Gunzong, and another 2 have elapsed since Wu Zetian rose to power. Yet today, I received a letter from the Ministry of Justice declaring that I am to become the new investigating magistrate of Chang'an, and that I am required to appear at the capital without delay. It seems the Empress wants to meet me. I think I want to meet her too. I should make a note of my arrival in the cryptic dream I had last night. I arrived in Chang'an last night. I made my way to the Justice Department where I am to stay. A young lieutenant showed me to my new living quarters, but my first night here is made by the same cryptic dream. I woke with a sense of dread and restlessness. I feel I can ignore it no longer, but what can I do? I can take the feeling that something bad is about to happen. My belongings were in the travel trunk. I didn't have much time to pack my things, but the essentials are in there. The capital city of Chang'an. I am fond of the time I spent here during my imperial examinations. Father served here as an imperial counselor for some years, but despite all that, the city never quite felt like a home. A promotion as the magistrate of such an important region would come with a lot of responsibility. I hope I can live up to my father's good name. A lucky jade, of course. It was a gift from my father. I take it wherever I go. Alright. So oh. Some old leaves. Rather frail-looking plant to place by itself in such a large courtyard. Steady looking hammer. May have use of this. Scaffolding. Look like some repairs are being done to the roof. Found and captured rebels for the attack on the royal temple. Good. By attacking the sacred temple, you're trying to undermine the symbol of my heavenly mandate. No quarters to be given to these agitators. Do you think General Zhang may have something to do with the recent disturbances? Zhang is a hardline traditionalist whose opposition against me is as clear as a stake in the barren field. But I know how to catch snakes like hell. Where is Di Renjie? He's here, Your Majesty, waiting in the antechamber. Are you sure you can be trusted? That is what I intend to find out. Bring him in. The Empress will see you now. Welcome, Di Renjie. I've been looking forward to meeting you. The humble servant is honored by Your Majesty's reception. I trust you had a chance to rest last night. I understand you left Bangalore 3 days ago to undertake the long journey to the capital. Yes, but the road was kind to us. My caravan arrived at the Justice Department after nightfall, and had sufficient time to settle in for a night's rest. But the winds of change are blowing. There is no time to waste. Tell me, my straight D, do you know why I called you here at this particular moment? I'm not sure I follow. I thought perhaps you may be wondering why it took so long for your promotion to the capital to be confirmed. After all, that was my husband's wish before his untimely death. When he heard of how you solved the Korean ambassador murder and rescued his border treaty, he made it very clear he wanted you to serve by his side. If he were still with us today, he would have been reassigned to China long ago. I humbly serve the imperial court where I am needed. Your Majesty, I mourn Emperor Gaozong's death, but it's not in my nature to question my position or rank. It is a rare thing to witness true modesty. The truth is my transition to power was not without some interference. The same kind of meddling and disapproved I've encountered all my life, but will not tolerate folly for the sake of fossil traditionalism. Hope I can count on you on your loyalty just as my husband did. My loyalty is to the law, and I will serve it to the best of my ability. So as long as Your Majesty permits it. I see. What if the law is unjust? Damn. The law was unjust. Unjust men create unjust law. If the law is unjust, the law does not stand still, and neither should we. Injustice must be confronted head on. Indeed, men can be fools misguided by power and greed. Such vipers are around every corner. In fact, the man that you are replacing, a man whose name deserved no mention in these hallowed halls, was such an offender. A horrid man who routinely abused his power. His worst sin of all was that of incompetence. But you never the best. You are here because I need someone to succeed where he failed. D. Renji, I hereby name you the new investigating magistrate of Chang'an. What say you? It would be my privilege to serve the people of Chang'an in the name of the Dragon Throne. Then it is done. Rise now as my chief agent of justice. You are now the guardian of Chang'an, the jewel of China, finest city in the world. But I'm afraid not all is right in your shining capital. I fear a sickness of doubt and fear is spreading across our streets and homes. The hearts and minds of men are fragile. As the first woman to hold the mandate of heaven, I cannot allow my reign to be crippled by this infection. I must show the naysayers that I can be as strong as any man, even if I must rule with an iron fist. This sickness must be stamped out. Law and order must be swift and unyielding. Must govern virtuously. If the heart and minds your majesty speaks of can be redeemed, or indeed cured, I fear force alone is not the answer. How pragmatic of you, Master D. I suspect even my husband may have underestimated your gift for counsel. Your notions of virtue and balance are sobering, but we are nonetheless responsible for cleaning the streets of the miscreants who would dare undermine our empire. And this is exactly what you should do. I'm at your Majesty's command. Before I relieved him of his duties, your predecessor was working on a case that, shall we say, overwhelmed his limited intelligence. A young woman by the name of Zhu Linfei was viciously murdered in her own home 9 days ago. A short inquiry ended with the poor woman's blind father detained and charged for the crime. But I sense a grave injustice is being done. Your immediate task is to reopen the investigation and find out the truth behind this heinous crime. And if what you discover should exonerate her father, I would like you to report back to me directly. Yes, of course. The first lieutenant of the Justice Department can apprise you of further details, but you may ask me any questions you like. I wish to offer my condolences for the passing of Emperor Gaozong. Although I never had the privilege of meeting him, I was an admirer of his reforms. Your sentiment is appreciated, Magistrate D. My husband was indeed a great man. He led our country onto the world stage, and now it is up to us to fulfill that destiny. Now is the time to look to the future. Does Majesty have a special interest in this case? Surely only weeks after your enthronement ceremony, police matters are the least of your concerns. On the contrary, there is no greater threat to the Empire than the spread of fear and hatred from within. Without law and order, this house of cards is but a tremor away from crumbling. Whatever the cost, I will see to it that those seeking to disturb peace shall never find any of their own. What can you tell me about the victim? Zhu Linfei met a horrible end. At first strangled to death, her misery did not stop there. After taking her life, the murderer went on to mutilate her. carving out her heart and taking it from her lifeless body. I ask you, what manner of barbarianism is that? Such hatred would suggest the killer may have known the victim, perhaps someone close, someone seeking revenge. Whatever the motive, I want to see this wretched killer captured and punished for what he has done. I will not stand for such depravity. The whole of the country watches my every move. I will not have my mandate tarnished by a deviant. What can you tell me about the accused? Your predecessors believed that the victim's father, Shu Dan, came to resent his daughter for abandoning him for several years. She eventually returned, but by then his heart had soured and filled with hate, igniting this violent outburst. But your Majesty does not believe this theory? Not for a second. Setting aside, ooh, damn it. Even during all those years away from his side, she made sure to send money for his care. Besides, your predecessor would have sooner forced a square peg into a round hole than do any real police work. I've told you everything I know. As for what is still unknown, I expect you to uncover it and return the favor. You may speak to Commander Yu if you need any additional assistance. She is my most trusted officer. Thank you, Your Majesty. Right. Shu Lunfei's murder. Collect all others to fill out this deduction board. At once beautiful and intimidating, she has an air of confidence that is undeniable. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. My name is Di Renjie. I know who you are. Yes, of course, you must be head of Her Majesty's security force. I am no mere security personnel. I am Yao Mei, commander of the Imperial Guard. I meant no offense. I assure you, I meant no offense. I see it in your posture. You carry yourself with the poise of a highly skilled martial artist. I dabbled in the martial arts myself when I was young, though I discovered early that I had no gift for it. But you, on the other hand, must be a very talented and brave warrior. Why else would the Empress put you in charge of her personal safety? I just you tread carefully, Di Renjie. Her Majesty wishes to give you an opportunity to show your allegiance. I am the one who will have to face it if that trust is betrayed. I applaud your diligence, Commander Yu, Yao, but my intentions are pure. I'll be the judge of that. What do you want? Tell me about yourself. I have no time for small talk. If you wish to know more about me, I suggest you seek out answer for yourself, detective. About the Empress. What can you tell me about the Empress? Her Majesty is a strong and fearless leader. What she has endured and overcome is a shining example for all of us. I would think a detective of your stature could easily detect such qualities. Do you know anything about the Shu Lunfei case? Only that the man who did it deserves to die 1,000 deaths. The man? You believe that the father is guilty? No, that is not what I said. I simply meant that I've never known a woman capable of such brutality. Have you? No, I can't say that I have. Listen carefully, Di Renjie. I do not trust you. I have no reason to trust you. I do not know you. And from my perspective, nor does the Empress. What you do from this moment forward will signal to me whether you truly are a trustworthy ally or an adversary to be dealt with. Your fierce loyalty is commendable, Commander Yao. With time, I do hope I can gain your trust.